Hello, in this video tutorial, I will cover how to access a form element using JavaScript. As you can see in this document right here, I have a form and I want to use JavaScript to be able to access it. So I load the file into my browser, right click on console and right click and open the console on Google Chrome, right? And we'll go to the console and simply I will try to access the form element. We know that form is part of the body and the body can be accessed by using the document object. So I simply just type document, and in order to be able to access all the forms in the current document I can simply type forms. Typing that and hitting the enter will give you an array and consists of many elements. Each element can be a form. Let me go ahead and add another form to this document. So if I do this, refresh my page, run the same command, document.forms. This time I get an array with two elements. As you can see, there is a comma separate these two elements. So obviously I can simply go ahead and put the square bracket, read it as an array, and access the very first form. If I want to get the access to the second form, I can simply go ahead and change the index to 1, which is the second element of the array. Now, sometimes the issue with this is if we move these form, like look at this one, the first one is the one that actually contains some form element, and I just go ahead and copy the second form before the first form, like this. Okay, let me just do this. Now if I refresh this page and try to access the element 0, now it's going to give me the first form in the document. So one way to actually get access to the form that we need is to either add an ID or add a name. So we all know if we want to access this by ID, I can simply go ahead and say document dot get elements by ID, and I pass the ID, which is my FRM. Simply will return me. Well, obviously I have to refresh my page. Okay, now if I run this, it simply gives me the form that I'm looking for. Or I can go ahead and change this to a different way. Like, remember how we did with the array? I can simply go here and use the dot to access the property of the object or another object within the object, and just say the name, my FRM. So I can simply access the form by its name. Now, a form consists of many elements, right? If I want to access the element within this form, which in this case is the type input type text and input type submit, I can simply go ahead and do this. Look at this. My form dot elements is another object that holds, or an array that holds many elements of the form. Look at this. It returns an array consists of two elements. Obviously, if I want to access the very first element, just use a square bracket 0. Or if I want to get the second element, I just simply change the index, right? Well, the other way to get the access to the very first element is just go and start the name using the name, and that is dot temp. So this gives me the very first one. Now, there are very few things that I can add here as well. For instance, if I want to modify the form, at this moment, if you look at the form, there is no action where we define where we want to submit the information to. That's what action can hold, right? So I can simply go ahead and access the form and start accessing its attribute. If I go and type action, there is nothing in it, is empty. I can simply set a value for it if I need to. HTTP google.ca, for instance, right? So now if I go back and just print the action, you can see the action is added to the current form, right? Now, I would be able to even access the method or change the method. I can simply go, instead of saying action, I can specify the method and the method I like to specify. In this case, I made the method post. I can even define some other attribute, like I can go ahead and change the target if I need to, right? Or any other attribute that I can have. So make this one blank. Now, if I go ahead and just print this, You can see all the attributes are there: ID, name, action, method, and to target. Whatever I have added is already part of the form. Now, what we have access here, like method, action, target, were the attributes of object, form object. Well, obviously comes with some methods as well. One of the methods that I can use is submit, to submit the form. But just remember, this is a method, so you need the bracket in front of the method name. So if I just hit enter right now, you will see the URL is changed and it will go to google.ca. Let's look at that one together. Oh, pop-up blocker. I just go ahead, enable, always allow pop-up blocker for localhost. So let's refresh the page one more time. Go ahead and run this. So let's go ahead. So I will add all those methods again. So this is the action, blank, method. Now I can do submit if I need to, right? Because I refresh the page, all those attributes are gone. So here you go. It opens a new tab and simply goes to google.ca. That's all for today. I hope you enjoy the video.